President Bola Tinubu announced plans to boost agricultural productivity and strengthen the economy through initiatives in agriculture, manufacturing and construction. Now, this will provide urgent economic relief for Nigerians. The National Construction and Household Support Program will grant 100,000 families in each state 50,000 naira monthly for 3 months. Additionally, 155 billion naira will be allocated for assorted foods, 540 billion naira for household grants, and each state and the Federal Capital Territory will receive 10 billion naira for CNG buses, all costing over 1 trillion naira. Now, joining me for more on this is Dr. Femi Egbesola, President, Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria. Dr. Egbesola, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Dr. Femi Egbesola, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you probably might have noticed that I was actually smiling while rolling out the numbers. I'd like to quickly get your thoughts on these figures and what they are being appended to and what you think they will achieve. Anything meaningful? Are you optimistic?
Well, starting from the body language of the government, I want to say it's a good thing that the government has saw need to intervene in the social welfare of the citizens. Rolling out this 1 trillion support fund is an indication that government really wants to do something to alleviate poverty, to alleviate sufferings of the average Nigerians this time. And to me, it's a good one. Then again, the question is those specific sectors that this funding wants to go, what impact will it have? You would understand that for past governments, they have not been able to achieve the needed impact that they wanted over the years. You discover that quite a lot of Nigerians are still under the poverty line, even with so many interventions we have seen. And it could also be the reason or a wake-up call for this government to see need now to tackle this intervention with a different mindset, with a different mechanism so that we can achieve the needed goal. You will agree with me that just recently also, 50,000 naira was given out as grant to particularly the nano category of the business sector. And you will ask me, has it actually been impactful? From our own gauge here, I would say not really. And this could be because along the line, there are so many issues that has affected it. One of it could be that a lot is not done enough when it comes to the monitoring of this funding and the evaluation of the funding. We also discovered that quite a number of these government intervention did not work with the relevant stakeholders in the different sectors that the intervention is supposed to target and achieve certain results. But by and large, I want to believe that if government this time address this with a different mindset and they put all hands on desk, we should be able to achieve something reasonable and meaningful at the end of the exercise. Yes, I support giving intervention to the agricultural sector. I also support a lot of construction that will go on to open quite a lot of the hinterlands that will also help in transporting farm produce to the hinterlands and to the cities rather. And but particularly for the 50,000 naira handout to 100,000 families in all the states of the Federation, I have a lot of reservation on that.
Oh, okay, so that is where we need to pick it from, because I'm just thinking about how you said it. You said that the Nigerian government would have to approach this with a different mindset, different mechanism. But now you've said that, of course, the 50,000 naira that was apportioned to the a few categories in the small SMEs didn't actually achieve the intended results. Now, for me, aside the allocation to the CNG buses, the rest, I really do not see how that would make impact. How that it might probably affect positively the households because people actually need that sort of cushioning. But how that would have a trickling effect on the economy, I'd like you to shed more light on that. What kind of mindset, what kind of approach, what kind of mechanism, how can that achieve some sort of growth for the various sectors of the economy, for the businesses in Nigeria's economy, and of course, how you think that will also help continue in terms of sustaining these households that will be benefiting from these monies?
Well, to start with, you discover that starting from the last bailout that was done, the 50,000 naira that was given to the nano business owners, so you discover that the process is somehow Herculean, and it's in a way negated the nano business owners from being able to apply for it. Many of those in that category were unable to meet up with some of these requirements, and the process also to them is cumbersome. So many of them were unable to also live up to the process. You can imagine many of these nano business owners do not have a registered business already. They have not actually registered with CAC. So that alone has knocked off quite a number of those in that category. Meaning that perhaps government has not actually studied that sector well enough before coming up with these palliatives. You discover that at the end of the exercise, those that got those funding were actually those that are in the small and medium business category who do not really need 50,000 as a stipend to really impact on their businesses. You will expect that government, if they had worked with critical stakeholders, like I did mention the other time, they will have been able to work with some business membership organization who have the data of some of these business owners, particularly in the nano category, and who also interface with them from time to time that will have provided such data for government, such verifiable data for government to use. You'll also discover too that the timing of the fund is not right. The president announced this palliative in the month of October last year, and eventually it was disbursed around April this year. What 50,000 would be able to do or buy, or the impact it will have on business last year is not the same that it will have this year. So timing also is another critical issue. We also discovered that there's corruption along the line. Most of the intervention programs we have are afraid with corruption from those handlers of those programs. We also have quite a number of political business owners getting some of this funds rather than the real business owners. And coming out to household, you begin to wonder what really 50,000 naira could do in the number of households this time. When a bag of rice is already about 80,000 naira, and every other goods and commodity has hit the roof, you would begin to wonder: do we pump that volume of funding into handouts, or we use it for more critical investments that will benefit virtually everybody and improve the economy of the state? Yes, I appreciate that a lot of funding is also allocated to agri sector, because one of the highest pusher for inflation at the moment is food. And when we are able to arrest food, it's going to work. But it also means that if we want to do intervention in the agricultural sector, we must go beyond the manual way we are doing agriculture today to embrace mechanized farming. And when it comes to mechanized farming, it also means that you want to begin to train these farmers for the use of on the use of modern technology and modern equipment that they need to work with. You also need to provide them land that will come close to free for them to be able to access, provide them security, provide them the relevant manual that we need to work with. Do a lot of research and development on the best practices when it comes to farming in different sectors of agriculture we have at the moment. These are some of the things that needs to be done. The CNG vehicle is also a good development for some of us, because transport too is another key cause of inflation. And if we're able to also arrest transportation through the use of CNG vehicles, I think it's going to work a lot for us, particularly those in the working sector. But then you also discover that over time, particularly from last year till now, many of the governors have promised to bring out CNG vehicles. They've allocated so much billions of naira to supply CNG vehicles. You now begin to wonder, where are those CNG vehicles? So if new allocation is now coming up to support CNG vehicles, will they eventually see the light of the day, or will it be like those that always go down the drain without anybody accounting for it, nobody asking questions, and eventually the masses suffering for it?
Okay, so finally, Dr. Egbesola, before I let you go, now, a lot of things you've said. How much of a solution is the National Construction Program, which actually prioritizes road infrastructure projects across the country, especially the Sokoto-Badagry road projects?
To me, it's a welcome development that is going to open up a lot of cities provide a transportation channel for a lot of farming communities that are in the corridor of this Sokoto-Badagry road. And I think it's a very, very good one if it can be done and done in record time. But like I did say the other time, most of our projects are always half done or shoddily done. I will encourage government this time around to put all hands on deck to make sure that the quality of the road is done well, and at the same time, it is delivered to the public on record time. If we can have that road done, it will actually improve the livelihood of all of those in that corridor. And that's a lot because it cut across so many states of the Federation. And I think that's going to be one of the best that this government will have ever done this year.
Well, that's a cue for the Nigerian government. We hope they will take it. Dr. Femi Egbesola, President, Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.